News time. News time, baby.
That's right, it's news time, folks. And we're going to jump right into this because this particular episode, I'm going to start it off. I'm just going to title it 3 Reasons. And that first article I'm going to read has given up 3 reasons why a lot of people won't receive uh, won't receive their so-called coronavirus stimulus checks. And I'm quite sure folks have probably already started calling them in. Yeah, coronavirus check, waiting on a coronavirus check. Anyway, it's 3 reasons why up to 1 million black families may not receive a stimulus check. And D.C. Dunce and his administration have approved a $3 trillion stimulus bill that will send money to millions of families to help compensate them during the C virus outbreak. Individuals can receive as much as $1,200 each, and families might more than $2,500. But Randy Hughes, founder of Counting Pennies LLC, a black-owned nationwide accounting and tax firm, says that a lot of people, including many African Americans, may not be getting a check. And here are the 3 reasons that he mentions. And number 1, they have no bank account. The funds will primarily be direct deposited, but more than 10 million adults in the United States don't have bank accounts. And yes, many of these are African Americans. Number 2, did not file taxes. The amount of funds that a household can receive depends on the amount of money earned in either 2019 or 2018. That amount will be based on the tax return filed for that respective year. Sadly, more than 15 million people did not file taxes in either year, and again, many of these are African Americans. Number 3, they recently have moved. Because millions of people have not filed taxes in the past year or two, it's very possible that their mailing addresses with the IRS have changed. This means that those that don't have a bank account could receive a check, but it may be delivered to the wrong address. And Randy says that he's doing all he can to encourage all individuals and families to take action now so that there may be no problems with getting your check when they are sent out. He comments his firm has legitimate ways to help people save their tax dollars and legally maximize their income. So he's basically doing a commercial on that. All right, so here we go with the second story. It's a 42-year-old mom of 4 that passed away from coronavirus complications. And Lanika Barksdale, 42-year-old mother from Michigan, has 4 children and has reportedly died from the coronavirus after being sick for 2 weeks and fighting for her life in the hospital. Barksdale, who is lovingly known as Nikki, to her family, was taken to the hospital when she had symptoms of the coronavirus with her underlying asthma. Barksdale experienced more severe conditions. They induced a coma, maybe her second day in the hospital, to see if they could give her lungs a bit of a break from overworking. And her brother Omari Barksdale told the news media they brought her out of the coma. When she came out of it, she still wasn't able to process enough oxygen. The doctor still tried to keep her oxygen level by heavily sedating her, but her temperature remained at 102 degrees, and sadly she passed away and due to complications of the coronavirus. Michigan is one of the states with the highest number of cases in the United States. Currently, the number of confirmed cases is more than 9,300, and at least 337 people have died, and the numbers are still increasing. So this is the most serious thing we face as a world in anybody's lifetime that's alive right now, he said, and the implications of it are too vast to take lightly. And historically, people forget. Well, this is something that's going on right now. But if you know anything about history, you also know that the Black Plague that hit Europe basically wiped out half the population of Europe. So, you know, hey, this is worldwide. This is not just Europe. This is worldwide right here. So we have an entrepreneur giving away $1 million to those who lost their jobs. And Willie Wilson, a philanthropist and entrepreneur from Chicago, has announced that he will donate $1 million to people who have lost their jobs because of the coronavirus outbreak. Wilson was one of the first African Americans to own McDonald's franchises in Chicago back in the 1970s. He sold all of his restaurants in the 1980s and then launched a gospel music career singing with the Norfleet Brothers. But nowadays, he is president and CEO of Omar Medical Supplies, one of America's largest distributors of disposable products for use in medical, industrial, and food service areas. He comments, folks are anxious, folks are afraid, and their future is uncertain. We're all in this together, so we must pull together in just a small way I can bridge the gap until the government steps in and does what's right quickly for those in need. I'm blessed to be able to do it. Via his foundation, Wilson says he's willing to be giving $100 to 10,000 different people. The funds will be sent via Venmo or PayPal or direct payments to still adhere to the social distancing and stay-at-home orders. More than that, Wilson has already donated 10,000 medical masks and 1,000 N95 masks to Chicago Fire and Police Department and plan to donate another 100,000 more masks to the community for better protection against the coronavirus. Homeless people, senior citizens, and those who lost their job due to the pandemic can apply to receive report at www.drwilliewilsonfoundation.org. And that last statement that I just read, homeless people and senior citizens and those who lost their jobs due to the pandemic. When the last story I read was about people, the first story I read was about people receiving the coronavirus checks. So you have homeless people. These people are the ones that are probably in the most need out of everybody in the nation. And they'll never ever receive a coronavirus check. For one, they don't have a job, they don't have an address, they don't have a bank account. They haven't filed taxes in who knows how long. And so they'll never receive a coronavirus check. So the most vulnerable people, the ones that are out there basically homeless, that have absolutely nothing, will not be getting this stimulus check. And I think, but those big banks and airline companies and companies that have, that do cruises and all that stuff, they'll be getting a check, but the homeless people won't. So, I don't know what's going on here, but I do know that something is really, really foul in society when the people that need it the most are the ones that get the least. And the people that are filthy rich, they're getting billions of dollars in bailouts, but they're not going to pass that money on to their workers that they just got through firing. And this is a bad day, man. It's a real bad day. And so, hey, when election time is coming up in November, and remember what's going on right now so you can get rid of all these clowns that are not doing what they're supposed to be doing right now. Get rid of them. Vote them out.
News time.